This is how a lot of people are being driven right now. They're being driven by their emotions. They're being driven by their feelings, right? People tell them things and they quick to react to it, humbuggish, and I wish y'all would, and you people, and you people, and you people, and blacks guilty of it too. You peckerwood, you crackers, or you people, you are YTs, whatever the fuck y'all want to call each other right now. It's just simple and complex. It's just spiritual and earthly. Y'all haven't even seen the spiritual man yet. Y'all don't know what the spiritual man look like. Y'all think we as individuals trying to come together and create our own existence when the real spiritual man is a nation of people. So when you thinking that I'm out just talking, trying to create something for myself, that's what I mean. You couldn't envision what the spirit of truth is in complexity. There ain't nothing just for self. It's all about humanity. We think about humanity, but when we think about humanity, the first part of humanity that must be dealt with is the enlightened mindset, the enlightened man. Who is the enlightened man? If you ask white people, if you ask so-called whites, it got to be them because of the cultures and stuff that they done created. All of the institutions they done created, they got to be the enlightened ones, right? When we all know that all of that knowledge is borrowed knowledge, reciprocated knowledge, we know that the great enlightenment only came because, once again, they were allowed, or they had access to the way that Egypt or the people over in that landmass perceived life prior to the great enlightenment, the Renaissance period, right? And when they start talking about their greatness, that's where it starts. That's where they go. That's where they go. The Renaissance, the Greek culture, the Roman culture. That's where the bravado starts, right? That's where it all starts. But enlightenment was on the earth before that. Those that gave you that had a sense of life in abundance before you even tapped into that and was able to give your interpretation of that, right? None of your deities are really new deities. They're just given different names because the deities already existed, right? None of these things are new. They were just given a different value system. And now it seems like everybody is valuing the earthly. Even us. Right. Even the people that's supposed to be the lights of the world. You see me out here soaking it up. By the way, I tell you, for slaves that were malnourished, because I don't think they were fed properly, I don't think you could go back and tell them, man, I'm hungry, give me some seconds. I needed more food to get out here and work, right? Man, that sun was feeding their spirit and their body, right? That sun was stopping them from holding on to all them impurities that they were eating, because you can't pee and poop out all of the toxins. You have to sweat some of them out as well. All right. Conditioning. Air conditioning. Stop you from sweating. Air conditioning is what we quick to run to when we start perspiring. And that's a form of conditioning. Again, you don't want to allow your body to be active. Therefore, you're holding in a lot of toxins, and we wonder why we have such toxic behaviors, right? And I use these things just to bring light to a situation that, man, it's time for us to be a little bit more complex about life. I'm not just saying us as far as, melanated people. I'm talking about as a group of people. if we're apparently the parental guidance on this plane through our principles, then that means everybody else is going to have to attach their wisdom to our understanding because they have no understanding. They just wise. They wise enough to see certain things, see certain patterns, right? But to them was never given the true information of the complex mind, because the complex mind is separated from the carnal mind. The complex mind is a spiritual mind that rightfully divides things. And if we divide in life right now, there are some people who are carnal and there are some people who are spiritual. And at the end, the spiritual man has advantage over the carnal man because we all witness carnalities. Our emotions are our carnal spirits, how we feel. We all have feelings. But can you subside the way you feel with the logic that you resonate inside of your head, that you permeate in your mind? Can you obtain that? Or are you so driven by your emotions that your feelings lead you to do other things like an animal? Right? It's time for us to leave this animalistic behaviors behind. We're not competing to be the toughest animal, right? We're trying to demonstrate who has parental guidance, who's the parent, apparently, of this plane, so we can establish order and subdue the things that need to be subdued. And right now, feelings are running rampant. You can feel like a male and a male could be a couple. You can feel like black people are ignorant. You can feel like white people are superior. You could believe that there's strength in numbers. But the truth of the matter is the mob is a group of cowards that have to come together and feel brave together. They cheer each other on. They need each other's energy to do what they want to do. They always, let's go do this. They never saying they're going to do anything. They always need a crowd. But here's a little thing about crowd control. Man, we control a crowd with our intentions. When we direct what we need to direct to the right person, the rest of these people seem to dissipate because they're all being galvanized by one rah, rah, rah spirit. Well, to kill that rah, rah spirit again, man, this is logic over vain emotions. We're going to show y'all love, right? We know y'all don't really like us, you know. Some of y'all say y'all ain't got no problem with us, but y'all can't show us love. You can't give me the logic over the vain emotions because y'all live vainly in y'all emotions. Y'all hold on into this egotistical standpoint that y'all better than everybody else. And half of y'all probably going to go to y'all grave wanting to believe that. And that's what's going to kill you when you got to relinquish that. When you know it ain't the truth and you got to reformulate the way you thought life was perceived. That's a harsh thing to do. It said be mindful of the man that could kill the spirit and the body. See, y'all just learned how to kill the body. Y'all excellent at killing black bodies, right? But can you kill a black spirit? Have you killed the black spirit? Have you killed the spirit that dwell inside of these people that's called enlightenment? Have you really dealt with that? Or are you acting as if these people are defeated because you have established your dominance in this carnal perception of yours? Like I say, it could be just a lie if you don't know the truth. And the truth of the matter is, man, we way more intelligent than y'all give us credit for. I know y'all see it. Yep. Still in the housing projects. Me, Harrison. Yep. Still in the hood. Matter of fact, I'm going to even tell you, man, I'm in one of the worst hoods in Baton Rouge, so they say. But I ain't got no problem, no way. I'm saying I'm over on Senegal Street. I'm over here in Brookstown. I'm just saying, man, it don't matter what part of Baton Rouge I'm in, I'm going to always be me. Complex intellectual that's placing logic over vain emotions just to let everybody else know that your feelings don't matter. They don't. I know people might want to ask me some questions about where I stay, this and that. I'll give you some answers if you want to. Come on the comments and drop. You can ask any question you want, please. But as a forward observer, that was a 13 Fox again. I was trained to be on my own and overlook the battlefield and recognize certain things that were harmful or certain things that needed to be targeted. And we put still to the target. Still, our mind is on the target, right? And the target is our evolution. We're going to evolve from being simply another carnal-minded creature on earth like everybody else. And we're going to establish a hierarchy based off of our complexity, our complexion. And I'm not talking black, I'm talking spiritual. That's our complexion. We look like spiritual people when we are at peace. When we're not warring with ourselves, when we don't have the struggle of the carnal mind trying to rule over the spiritual man, we're at peace. It don't matter where you're at. You can be in the hood, you can be in Beverly Hills, you could be downtown at the state capitol. I'm just saying, you're going to be at peace when you learn how to order your mind. And your mind is more complex than all of these other peoples who operate off sensationalism. How do you feel? Ego alone. Right? Man, y'all better recognize what time it is for real and start trying to embrace black people. Start trying to embrace those of us that represent the spirit. Now, don't get me twisted. There's some black people that still need to embrace themselves. But those that you can clearly perceive on a higher dimension than what y'all are mentioning, because y'all like to mention this race stuff. And again, I'm not being baited by none of that because it don't matter. Our victory is in our mindset. Our victory is already in the way we perceive life. So once weak, we're now strengthened with the understanding. Yeah. Once wise to our own demise, we're now being resurrected with the knowledge that came through understanding. Right. Because there's only one begotten son on this plane, and it's a nation of people that know how to explain life in detail. It's called logical instructions for existence. We were given that. The grass was given that. The trees was given that. At the end of the day, everything that life created has a purpose and it has instructions. And when we follow our instructions, we find ourselves separated from these earthly people with our knowledge, because as we were created to be the lights of the earth, we're above the earthly perception, while everybody else is like four-footed beasts moving off of impulse and how they feel. Well, I'm going to advise you to get a little peace in your mind. I'm talking this piece, though, this portion, because if you ain't got this portion, then you're being deceived by your own egotistical way of looking at life. And logically, we're about to give people instructions for everybody to exist on the same plane. And the plane is going to be a spiritual thing. Our warfare is not carnal. It's spiritual. But with the spirit again, man, we subdue everything. And with that, I'm going to say one.